Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Monday training call. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules. As you can see, I'm literally taking time out of something. But today I'm super excited because we're going to be talking about how to turn customers into sharers and eventual business builders. And I am so grateful to be welcoming my dear friend and business partner, Brittney Kara. She is a mom of 3. She's got 3 kids, no help, and she earns a 6-figure income working 3 hours a day. Obviously, she's very, very focused and she's very determined, but she is just an amazing woman, amazing mama, and someone that entirely is intentional about everything she does. So I'm very excited for her to share because I have learned many things from her, and one of them is how to be direct. It's something I continue to work on. So I'm going to turn it over to Brittney, and she's going to share all kinds of nuggets of wisdom for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Becca. Love you guys. Thank you for being here and taking time out of your busy Mondays to tune into this training. All of these are recorded and they're posted both on Rebecca's team YouTube pages and my team YouTube pages. So regardless of whoever team you're on, we're excited to have you and welcome you. So today's topic is going to be all about helping to convert product people into business partners and into consultants, because that's really, at the end of the day, we want to be recruiting and enrolling, but we also want to be converting those enrollments into consultants and managers, directors, executives. Now, one of the things that's really important to understand is that the majority of people that come into your business center, and these are statistics across the board in Isagenix, so no matter where you are in your journey of network marketing, no matter how long you've been in the company, it's important to know that about 83% of people that you enroll will just want to consume the products. They're not going to want to build the business with you. And I think this is where a lot of network marketers, we make the mistake where we just assume that everybody wants this amazing life, right? We just assume that they're going to be as excited as we are about this opportunity. And that's not always the case. So one of my main focuses with my team is, number one, always meet people where they're at. Okay, so if you're taking notes, write that down, because I think it's a really important thing for all of us to remember in the network marketing field to keep this profession really full of integrity and love, is meet people where they're at. Not everybody is ready to jump on board with you in the business right away, but it doesn't mean you can't plant seeds of what is possible. And I'm going to walk you through some steps of what I personally do with all of the people that I personally enroll my team. And I have a very high percentage rate of enrollments and those then converted to consultants. And then from there on to manager or director or whatever. But for sure, almost every single person that I personally enroll will become a consultant at some point. Now, does that mean they become one of my top business people and they, want to have a Isagenix millionaire lifestyle? No, it's not always the case. Sometimes people just want to get their products paid for. And we know this with the tools that we have, the you share, they share, repeat, keeping it really simple. But how do we start to inspire people to think about that right away? And that's what I'm going to walk you guys through today, because these are hugely important steps. A lot of times I see people that are amazing enrollers, right? We call them like sponsor monsters, right? They're just like sponsoring, but they don't necessarily have a network being built. They don't have a team. They're wondering why consultants aren't showing up, why they're not able to get to executive or beyond. And I know right now we're all in the rapid reset, right? So it's super fun. I just hit the Crystal Director reset this last week. So I was super excited because I always have, and just so you guys know, like my numbers, I always have anywhere between, 20 to 25, sometimes more consultants at any given time. So for me, it was, I was listening to a podcast with Susan Sly years ago, and she said, when you're paid as exec, because I had gone executive my first year in Isagenix, and then I fell out of executive. And if you've been on, Isagenix for a while, you might be able to relate to that. Like you go executive, you hit this thing, and then all your consultants fall away, and you're like, what's happening? Like, oh my goodness, what's happening? And you kind of get discouraged, and you start to question your leadership, or you start to question, like, how does this thing work, right? But the reality is that a lot of consultants are just going to be consultants for a little bit. They just want that little bonus boost, and that's fine. So as a leader, you need to have in your mind, if you want to always be paid as executive, your goal is 20, minimum 20, always 20. Now, for people that are building to executive, that might seem like, oh my gosh, that seems like a lot. But as I break this down for you and show you the tangible steps of how do you start to turn consultants with ease, it'll make a lot more sense. But again, when we have these fun resets, I always, in my mind, I just don't even look in my back office at my consultants. I just think I'm a new person. I'm going executive again. I'm going executive again. I'm just constantly going executive, always going executive, because I'm always creating consultants. So how does that happen? Now, with the new Customer First program, we know that everybody enrolls as a preferred customer. We used to have the associate preferred and it was different. And now it's just a lot more streamlined. So everyone comes in the same, but there's a couple more steps that need to happen on the leadership side. On our side, it's our responsibility to show people how to actually log in and switch their accounts over to associate. Because you guys, if you don't walk people through this, the majority of people will never do it. They'll never do it. So I have a policy on my auto ship walkthrough calls, which is typically within the first week that that person has gotten started. I'm on the phone with them. I'm showing them how to adjust their auto ship. I'm showing their back office. And on that phone call, I will say, hey, Katie, I want to show you some things this is your back office. I call it a back office, even though if they're not, because mindset is like an office of an entrepreneur, right? So I always say back office. I know people use different terms, so whatever you feel comfortable with is fine. But I always say, this is your back office. This is your private Isagenix grocery store. This is also the place that you can start to earn rebates back for your products and get your products paid for. So let me just show you a few things so that you can be set up for success long term. Does that sound good? And they always say yes. So I'm always checking in with them to make sure that I'm not, giving them too much information that they don't want, that they're not overwhelmed. We're just walking them through it. And then I'll just say, on the left-hand side of your screen, there's a little purple icon that says, become an associate here. Do you see that icon? And they'll say yes. And I'll say, let me explain to you what becoming an associate means. And then I will actually walk them through the process that, number one, they are going to have the ability to earn cash rebates back if they share it with family or friends. Number two, I will show them that they're going to start to bank volume from what's happening on the team. So I will tell them, hey, you're on my team and I do this full time. So I enroll a lot of people and I would love to bless you with the enrollments that my team and myself are going to put in. They're going to automatically go under you. And once you're an associate, you get the opportunity to accumulate the points from their orders. And those points long-term can turn into residual income later on if that's something you're interested in learning how to access. So there's like a dialogue of, I don't really get into cycles and BV right away, because again, those are words that we're comfortable with, right? But a brand new person, they don't know what a cycle is. They don't know what business volume means. Maybe they've done network marketing before, so they're more open-minded to it. But a lot of people are just customers, and they don't necessarily need to have all of that information yet. So I just say points, because people understand points. They understand rebates. I say cash rebates. I say points. I don't say BV and cycles, because really we just want them to understand that there's an opportunity there for them, right? So going back to when you're walking them through the back office, so I have them click on that purple icon. I let them know there's going to be some information for them to enter. You guys, I stay on the phone with them when they do this, because I, one, want to make sure they feel supported. Two, I want to make sure they do it properly. And so it takes me less than 10 minutes to do all of this that I'm going to teach you guys today. Okay. So I really want to encourage you to plug this into your auto ship system of when you're doing your auto ship walkthroughs. If you're going to walk through an auto ship at the same time, maybe the phone call takes 20 minutes, right? You can do auto ship and conversion to associate in 15, 20 minutes for sure. So you're taking them down, you're having them click on that purple button, you're plugging their info in. That way, if they have any questions on that page, they can ask you. You're on the phone. They're not sending you a Facebook message you don't get. You're guiding them through it. And at the end, there's that little video. I let them know, hey, there's going to be a 3-minute video. We're going to watch it together. It's just about being respectful of Isagenix and not making medical claims or income claims, because our company is amazing and people have wonderful results, but we're just a food system. So I let them know that there's a responsibility associated with becoming an associate of Isagenix. And you know what, you guys, when people understand that they're a part of something bigger, when people understand that they get to have some level of responsibility to people like that, they're like, oh, that's really cool that the company puts that out there. That's really cool that they're really strict about not making medical claims and things like that. That's awesome. So they get to see the integrity of our company too in that video, and they get to see Travis Garza and just the heart of our corporate staff. So I really like people to watch that video. So I stay on the phone with them. After that, their business center is converted to associate. In that same time, I go, okay, now that you're associate, I want you to go ahead and click on the top button that you see that says team, and then click on view placement tree. And I have them scroll down and I actually show them their placement tree. Now, what happens a lot of times on my team, and this may or may not be true for you, depending on how fast your organization is growing. I'll just tell you guys, I was on an inside leg. So I did not have a power leg above me. I didn't have, multiple upline leaders putting people below me. So when my organization was first starting to build, like I knew every single person. So if you're there and there's only a couple people, like that's okay. Like I've done it. I've built an organization from an inside, like you can too. It doesn't matter. But just know if you're on a team leg or something like that, there's a lot of momentum. You want to show people that. Either way, you want to show them this. So you have them click on your view placement tree, scroll down, and then I'll go, Mary, look, you already have 4 people below you. And do you see those numbers in that little box? That's residual income that's already accumulated for you. And I get them excited about the vision. They're like, well, how did those people come? Where did they come from? How did they show up? Oh my gosh, what are they doing? Right? So that's a little step into understanding more of the business, but it's not so detailed that they're going to be like, okay, I'm, totally overwhelmed with this information. I can't do this. I'm busy. I can't have another business, right? When you start saying business to people that are busy, they check out. When you start saying, I want to make 6 and 7, you want to be a millionaire on my team, they check out, guys. You don't know where their money mindset is. You don't know where their time management, you don't know how organized or unorganized they are. So don't project your goals onto your customers. Find out what they want. Okay. So in that dialogue, you might say, hey, do you have a couple people in your life that would want to try this system with you? You're already loving it. You're on day 4. You have better energy. You've already released a couple pounds. You rocked your cleanse day. Who are a couple people in your life you might want to share this with? Because I'll help you enroll them and Isagenix will pay you. And in that conversation, you're just starting to plant the seeds of the dialogue. So again, you guys, I would say probably 95% of people that I show this to will go consultant within that first month. That's a pretty high statistic rate. And I'd have to really track it to give you exact numbers, but I know that within that first month, if I show them this, it's in their mind, they're thinking about it, or they might get off the phone and be like, thanks, Britt. I'm not going to share it with anyone right now. Awesome. No worries. And then I'll get an email 2 weeks in. Hey, my coworker, my neighbor, my friend, tell me about that thing you showed me. Where do I put them on that tree? Can you walk me through how to enroll them? So these are the conversations that you want to start to have, okay? Because let me just tell you this, you guys, you have golden nuggets of people, amazing people in your downline that you've already enrolled that you probably haven't showed this information to that could be your consultants. So if you are feeling stuck at manager or you're feeling stuck, my husband has no shirt on. This is why, right? He's on a call with a bunch of ladies, no shirt on. Okay. So what you want to really focus in on is helping these people, because here's what we know. If people get their products paid for, their retention rate skyrockets, right? Because if you're getting free food, why would you ever stop eating it? You wouldn't, right? You would never stop eating it. So our goal is not to convince them to build an empire, to build a legacy with us. Our job is to show them what's possible of just the first little baby step. Let's get them that $150 to $320 bonus and get them excited about, they get a little debit Visa card in them. People call me, they're like, this is a debit Visa card. They just load money on it. People get so excited. People love free money. And that's what it is. It's free money for people that don't really want a business. They just want to plug in a little bit. It's free money. They don't have to work that hard to get it. From there, you will then start to have people that are like, hey, I want a little bit more. I find for my team that once you start to get someone cycling 2 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, consistently, not just once or twice, but consistent cycles, that opens their brain to really start to look at, oh my gosh, I have some consistent residual income coming in. I'm going to step in and figure this out. Okay. So those are the first tips of switching someone to associate. So if you're not walking people through the step of switching to associate, Make that your number one goal. Have a chart. I know Rebecca and I are huge on whiteboards. I live in a trailer right now with 3 kids. So my organizational office is a little bit different than I would really want it to be in my life right now. But typically I have a big whiteboard, which is in my other outside office right now. And the minute I enroll someone, they go up on my board. There's categories where it's authorship, healthy mind and body, ISA-Body challenge, and associate switchover. And once I do those things with that person, I check. So I can go back and I can look, okay, who didn't I follow up with? Who do I need to reach out to? If you have a crazy like surge week where you enroll, 6 to 10 people, or you have a really big month, right? That can be a little bit overwhelming where you have a bunch of people starting. You want to make sure you're writing this stuff down somewhere so you can keep track of who's converted to associate, who needs an auto ship check-in, okay? So if you don't have that system set up, I mean, Rebecca's so brilliant. She's taught so many times on these trainings about systems and about organization. So, go back, go through YouTube, find and pull, watch Susan's slide stuff, find a system that works for you, but you have to have a system, okay? So then once you are in that space of that becomes part of your, like, that's part of my system. My people go associate. Anyone I enroll goes associate. Like, it's like not a question. Because here's the thing, people will do what you teach them. If you don't teach them how to go associate, they won't. But if you do, if you make it part of your principal core, then it will happen. And through that, you will start to just by default attract more consultants. You just will, because people will go, oh, what is this? Or, oh, I logged in and I saw this. Or, oh, I popped around that tree thing. I saw these, people will start to look once they know it's there. But if you never show them, they're going to be overwhelmed with the website. They're busy, like people are busy. So we have to slow it down for them. We have to chunk it down, and we just have to give them little sound bites of the compensation plan, little bits at a time. Okay. Meeting people where they're at. Now, it's different if you have someone come in and they come in with a presence pack and they have business intent. Obviously, you're going to take a different approach with what you show. But this is just the average customer that's coming in for the 30-day cleanse, that's joining the challenge, that's maybe been on your team for a little bit, that's loving the products. This is a time for those conversations, okay? And that's where you're going to start to develop some of your really top business people will come out of those conversations because it'll be organic and it'll be what they want, not what you're pushing on them, okay? So the next thing I do is I go through my team all the time. I typically do this once a week at least, and I scroll through and I look at all my personally enrolled volume and my entire downline. Because guess what, guys? We have access to people that we didn't enroll, correct? Isn't that amazing? Like, Isagenix gives us access to people in our downline that we did not personally enroll. So if you know that there was a leader on your team that was enrolling people for a while and maybe they took a break and they were never happened, life happened and they stopped building, where are their people? Where are their people? Reach down and find those people and look at their accounts and help them go consultant, because it doesn't matter. Once you hit 20, once you've created 20 consultants, you don't get the $100 consultant development anymore. But that doesn't matter because you're still creating people that are making money. You're still creating that synergy in your team that you're reaching down deep. So you don't want to just do this for your personally enrolled. Reach down in your team and see who you can help. Who can you inspire to get a couple people? Who can you inspire to get to manager? Okay. So sometimes we just are focused on like our enrollments, our people, our personally enrolled. No, the way the Isagenix compensation plan, it's unlimited depths, guys. So go deep. Look for people. Like sometimes I've done this and I'm like, oh my gosh, this person enrolled a couple people without any advice and they're on the wrong sides and they should have been consultant and they need to go here. Like, you will catch this stuff. But if you're not looking at your downline, as your downline grows, it's going to be chaotic because it's not like you want to micromanage everything, but you want to be aware this is happening in your company. Okay. So if you take the mindset of CEO principles, like this is your company, you need to understand what's happening in your company. Okay. So how do you start to get people excited? Like, say they're on AutoShip for months and they went associate and they switched their account over, but then nothing. Okay. Then how do you encourage those people to start to become consultants? So here's what I do. I go down through my team. I look at volume and I look at members below them. And here's how you do the math. And if no one's ever showed you this, this is a technique that you want to teach your teams. and you want to use it all the time. Okay. And it's simple math, because I'm terrible at math, guys, but our compensation plan is pretty simple. Okay. So what you want to look at is the banked volume that the associate has and their personal holding volume. There's two different volumes, right? There's the team leg volume and the personal holding volume. I was going to pull up my back office, but I don't think we're allowed to show other people's names and stuff on these trainings because they go on YouTube. So I'm just going to, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like there's team leg volume and then there's personal holding volume. So say you have a customer that has 50 people below them and they don't know, and they've never enrolled anyone yet. This is what the team has done. Okay. And they have, several thousand BV banked on the team leg, and then they have several thousand PV banked. So here's what I do. I will figure out how many cycles they have banked that they would cycle immediately once they became a consultant. And then I will figure out what amount of money that is. And here's how you do it. You take 600 on the stronger leg, you divide it by 600 because that's where we need the 600 points, right? On the weaker leg, you divide it by 300. So you can see whatever those numbers are, then you times that by the value of a cycle, which is $54. So for example, say someone had enough for 5 cycles banked on the right team, and they had enough for 2 cycles on the weaker leg. The minute they go consultant, I know they're going to cycle 2 times because they have 2 cycles sitting there. So I can text them and say, hey, were you aware that you have several $100s in residual income sitting underneath you in your account? Do you want me to show you how to cash that out? I say this a lot. Do you want me to show you how to cash that out? People like that. People like cash and they like to be cashed out, right? So these are all things I guarantee you can go through your downline and you're going to find some golden nuggets of people that have a lot of money sitting there and they're not aware. And that's our job, guys. That's our job to go down in there and go, hey, did you know? So I just send a little Facebook message or I send a text message and I go, hey, sweetie, I just wanted to reach out. I love that you've been consistent on your isogenics. You rock. Thank you so much for being a part of my organization. I'm super grateful for you. By the way, I was looking through my team and I saw that you have over $500 in residual income sitting banked in your account. Would you like me to show you how to cash that out? ? And then I let them respond. I've never had someone say no. I've never had someone say, I don't want that money. Don't show me how to do it. Please don't ever contact me again. Like, said no one ever, okay? People are not going to do that. They're going to be so grateful. And then you show them, okay? So you show them the you share, they share. You show them the rank advancement bonuses, really up to manager at that point, because if you haven't had a detailed conversation of if they don't want to make a full-time income, then you kind of show them manager, maybe director, conversation of who do you know? Let's write down some names. Who could you call today to let them know about this amazing nutrition? Who can we get on a 3-way call? Who can we add into the group? Who can we invite to this event? Then you're starting to help them quantify and make their list so that you have an action plan of how to get them there. Now, does everybody take that up and go, yeah, I'm going to do it? No, but what I find, even if they go, well, next time we have a promo or free enrollment, all of a sudden there's a new consultant on my team. I just had this happen last week. I had 3 girls go consultant. I didn't help them in that moment. I was on spring break with my kids and I really wasn't working all week. And I had 3 people go consultant because I had showed them a couple months before how to do it. I had talked to them about the opportunity. They saw there was these great promos going on that the company was offering and they got excited. And so they went consultant, which helped me in the crystal reset thing. So it just shows you like you're just planting seeds and then you're there to support when that person wants to jump in. Okay. So if you're not going back through this is what I would say. Minimum every other week, minimum once a month is like not enough, but I would do it once a week where you're going through and you're looking who has banked volume, who hasn't converted over to associate, who needs a phone call, maybe who's ordering 98 BV as a preferred customer. Do you guys ever see that? You're like, you're 2 BV away from, and you're not active and let's get you active. So that's also a phone call. hey, sweetie, I saw that you're ordering a lot of product through Isagenix. That's super awesome. Your account right now, you're just kind of throwing your money away. Do you want me to show you how to access not only your money from your orders, but other people's orders so you can start to get your products paid for? Do you want me to show you how to do that? Great. Let's set up a call, and then I send my scheduling link and they book a call with me. So you have to just kind of get creative with, stop maybe pitching it as a business. Not everybody wants a business, and these people don't necessarily want to do Isagenix full time, but guess what? They'll take a $200, $300, $400, $500 cash out 100%. And that's going to build the structure of your organization because people are going to stay in the game. They're going to continue ordering when their products are free. They're going to continue sharing and having great results. And be like, not only does this company help me lose weight and have more energy, but they pay me for it too. And it doesn't have to be, there's going to be a smaller group of those people. The top 2% will then go on to be your leaders, the people that are going to want to get on Zoom trainings with you, that are going to want to get up in front of a room and give a presentation. Okay. So there's a lot of different elements to that. And everybody is important on your team. Your customers are important. So love on them. Don't just take them for granted and wait for business people to show up. Love on your customers, guys. Be grateful. That BV goes everywhere, all the way up the tree to everybody, okay? So be grateful. Send them thank you messages. Reach out. Ask how you can assist them. Show them the new products that you love. If you haven't talked to them in a while, reach out. And if they've gone off auto ship, it's a great time to call and say, hey, I know you love the products. I see that you're not ordering anymore. Can I ask why? And guess what? A lot of times it's financial. And then you can have a conversation about consultant. Then you can have a conversation about getting their products paid for. You can start to show them those things. So it's really, it's a really fun thing to do. You guys, I love doing these phone calls. I love reaching out to people on Facebook and being like, did you know that you have $9,000 sitting below you? That's exciting. That's so exciting. People work hard for their money, right? And most people are plugging, time clocking in with I don't even know, a punch card. What is it called? Clearly I haven't worked in that industry in a long time. I haven't had a boss since I was 21, but they're clocking in, they're clocking out, they're sitting in a cubicle, they're overwhelmed with life. They're not feeling great. So this is an opportunity to get them excited. And I have a amazing gal who just went consultant on my team last week or the week before. And she's a full-time working mom of 3. She's a professional. She works in an office. She used to get dressed up and serious every single day, and she sees what I do from home. And she's been on my team for a long time, just loving the products. And she just, when we had all those promos, reached out and she goes, I think I'm ready to share. I think I'm finally ready to share. And she went consultant. She's cycling a bunch. And now she's excited about the potential of what this could do for her family. She's excited. She goes, really, I can make a full-time income, Brittney? And I said, yes, you can. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take focus and discipline, but you can. Let me show you those numbers. See, then you can go up. And start to show them 1-star, 2-star. People don't know what the stars mean, you guys. They don't know about the ranks. They haven't been to convention, right? They haven't seen that energy yet. So it's really important that we don't assume. We meet people where they're at in a loving way, and we guide them through getting inspired about the opportunity that is right in front of them. And a lot of times I'll say to people, hey, I'm obligated to show you this. I'm obligated to show you this. And if I didn't show you this, I'd be doing you a disservice. So I need to show you the amount of money that's underneath you right now. Let me show you what that means. And people appreciate that, because think about it this way, guys. If you have any fear about reaching out and reaching deep in your team, think about it this way. Imagine, think of your favorite company outside of Isagenix, somewhere that you shop a lot at or you spend money at. Maybe it's Apple, or maybe it's Costco or Whole Foods, or maybe it's Nordstrom's, whatever it is. Imagine if they had this savings account for you with a bunch of cash in it and nobody from the store called you. And then you found out years later, or your friend went and got to go shopping with her money and you didn't know that you had money. Wouldn't you be upset? Wouldn't you be super irritated with the person that was supposed to call you? They didn't do their job. So this is our job, is to show them this. Okay. So it's a really, really fun way to start to step business people in. And it's a fun way to start to develop more and more consultants. And I encourage you to teach all of your team this. So when new leaders come in, and they're excited about building a team, and they're like, how do I get business partners? Well, first of all, you get customers first. That's why we have customer first in Isagenix, right? That's why our corporate staff is so brilliant. They created this stuff. Okay. So super exciting. There's lots of, I'm just reading some of the chats. Does anyone have any questions? I'd love to open it up. Does anyone have any questions about finding that information, navigating it, doing the math? Any of those questions? You guys can just unmute if you have a question or a comment.
Here's Laura. I have a question. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, do you like have the language you just used? Do you have that somewhere? I was taking notes, but I'm sure I missed some stuff. And then when I go to talk to somebody, I'm like, wait, I get tongue tied. I'm like, what was I going to say? So.
Yeah, absolutely. I have some scripts for my team, but that's I can create a quick Google Doc for you guys, and I'll put it in the Elevate page, and also like on our business pages. So yeah, absolutely.
All right, great. Thanks.
I'd be happy to do that. Yeah, thank you. Awesome, guys. Any other questions, comments? How to switch associates over or preferred customers over to associate and beyond? Awesome, guys. So I have a challenge for everybody. Okay. So as we wrap up this training, I'm going to challenge all of you to reach out to 5 members of your downline and do this week. 5 members say, okay, maybe you've only enrolled 5 people. And you're like, Britt, I've only enrolled 5 people. I have to call all of them. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have to do it with 5. Okay. So I'm going to encourage you to reach out to 5, go back in your team, especially if you're a seasoned Isagenix person. Go back through your team. You're going to be mind blown when you start to look down your team. You're not even going to believe what you've missed because you've been busy on Facebook prospecting and trying to enroll, and you've forgotten about the people that were your base that you already enrolled over here. Okay. So I'm going to challenge you to reach out to 5 and just walk them through. Convert to associate, show them their tree, go in their back office with them, scroll down, show them their banked volume. What does that mean to them, right? Because they're just going to see a bunch of zeros and a bunch of numbers. They're going to have no idea what it is. It's like a different language. So you're going to walk them through that. You're going to talk, you can talk about bills. You can say, hey, what's a bill that you have in your life right now that you would love to not pay? I like to say that to people. What's a bill right now that comes that gives you stress? How much is that a month? And you'll be surprised. A lot of times it's just $200, $300, $500. People are like, oh my gosh, if I could pay my car payment and my cell phone, that would change my life. Awesome. Let me just show you. You've got that there for 2 months right there. 2 months worth of those bills is sitting underneath you right now in ISA. So let's find a couple friends. And then you can talk about posting on social media, reaching out to family and friends, right? It's an avenue to start to have those coaching calls where then you're teaching people how to do it. So awesome, guys. Any other questions, comments? I think that's all I wanted to share. So Rebecca, did you want to share anything? I know you're busy with your hair.
No, you're amazing. I mean, the only thing I would say is I really like your take on taking people to associate right away. I typically wait, but I do a screen share. So if you aren't taking people to associate right away, do a screen share when you do your back office tour and walk them through your account so they can see the tree. In fact, my girlfriend here that's doing my hair, she got started about 30 days ago. And right before this call, I logged into my tree and showed her, I'm like, look, you've got 8 customers underneath you. She's like, what? So this call was very appropriate.
Awesome. I love it. She's there doing your hair. All right, guys. Well, this will be uploaded. We'll get it to you. I will work on those scripts for you guys so you can have that as well. And thank you so much for being on. And we love you guys. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time.